In college last Saturday, two things stood out to me. Alabama, keeping their cool and composure in Fayetteville, getting schooled the whole game by Ryan Mallett and the Razorbacks, but the Tide still win by 4 and stay number 1. The other game that surprised me, that proved how ridiculous the polls are, is the Texas Longhorns just getting worked by UCLA. My God, the Bruins just spanked them, and they did it in Texas. That's unbelievable. Don't ever believe the hype. Don't ever believe the polls. It's a bunch of dorks and losers sitting around newsrooms that think they're geniuses. The only poll that matters in college football is the last poll before the big bowl games and then the one after the bowl games where they declare the national championship. And you know whoever wins the BCS title game is going to be the title winner, and whoever loses is going to be number 2, so it doesn't matter anyway. But the poll right before the ball games is the only one that matters. Preseason polls are for idiots. Now let's talk about this week's games. There's tons of good ones. Starting with Thursday night in Stillwater, Oklahoma State and Texas A&M. Last year, 36-31 Cowboys. Great game. They were laying 5, so it pushed. I think Oklahoma State looks awesome this year. I know everybody says that Texas and Oklahoma are all that matter. Not anymore. Oklahoma State's playing better than Texas this year, and you can count on that. I think the Cowboys are going to be tough to beat at home. Raucous crowd Thursday night. Be very careful if you're playing A&M in that one. All right, let's go to Saturday. Stanford and Oregon. That's the biggest game. It's in Eugene. Stanford's unbeaten. They get no respect. They went to South Bend. They kicked Notre Dame's teeth in, and now they're playing the Ducks. Both of them are unbeaten. And last year, Stanford, in a wild football game, beat the Ducks in Palo Alto 51-42. Meanwhile, the Ducks were laying 7 in that game. I think Oregon hands Stanford their first loss of the season. But it's going to be rowdy. And there's going to be a lot of Stanford fans that make the trip. And the place will be packed, crazy. They're going to be drinking and thinking, yelling, screaming, spitting. This is going to be the game of the week. Count on it. I put Notre Dame and BC on the plate because they're playing in Chestnut Hill, and they always hook up, and it's always a great game. But I think they both suck. And I think Boston College will beat Notre Dame. And that means Notre Dame will have 1 win and 3 losses. I think Notre Dame and Brian Kelly already are a loser football team. Their season's over. And now they're playing for pride. When you start playing for pride, you know your girlfriend's going to leave you. Okay? This is for the boys on the team, man. We got to keep our composure here. This is about Notre Dame football. We got to stick together. Don't listen to the outsiders. Don't listen to the media. Don't listen to the sports talk. Don't listen to the TV guys, even though they're all right. Notre Dame's awful, okay? Brian, how do you like that job? Keep up the good job, dude. You are as bad as Charlie Weiss. Boy, what they do to sell a big name in that town. Sissies. Wisconsin and Michigan State. All right, the Spartans are unbeaten. Not for long. They played last year, Badgers 38-30. They win it. They were laying 3. They win by 8. I say they do the same thing again. I don't care if it's in East Lansing. I'm not buying that Michigan State's good any more than I'm buying that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to go to the playoffs. Michigan State will fade like they always do. Va Tech and NC State. Here's a game no one would think in Raleigh that would be the game of the day. I think it might have a shot on Saturday of being just that. The Hokies, after losing their first 2, remember they lost to Boise and James Madison? I think Virginia Tech wins again and goes to Raleigh and beats NC State. And NC State just went down to Georgia Tech and handed the Yellow Jackets a stunning loss. Florida and Bama, game of the day, wrong. It's not. I already told you the other ones. Florida's not good enough to beat Bama down in Alabama. I love what the Tide did last week. I already told you on the road in Fayetteville. How clutch. I don't like Brantley. I don't like Florida's offense, even though they're winning all the games. That's because they play every game at home in the swamp. Go on the road and see how good you are. You'll find out Saturday. Oklahoma and Texas, Red River shootout. This one's at Texas. It's not going to matter. Oklahoma's going to kick their ass. Last year, Oklahoma lost 16-13. Texas was laying 3. It was a push. Take the Sooners. They're going to win by at least 10, maybe 15 or 20. Texas, look what UCLA did to them. What do you think Oklahoma's going to do to them? Miami and Clemson last year, great game. Clemson won it 40-37. It's at Clemson, playing at the Rock. Miami looked great at Pittsburgh. Not going to be fun going to Clemson, though. You play in that place, the Rowdy, the Orange, they're all drinking and getting crazy and loud, and they got hot cheerleaders. Huge task. Last year, Miami was laying 4.5. I say they slip at Clemson. Penn State and Iowa. They're playing at Kinnick Stadium in Iowa City. Penn State couldn't beat Temple by more than a handful. Temple was getting 17. I told everybody to take the Owls. They covered. Penn State is so overrated and so overhyped as usual. Every week they're on the Big Ten Game of the Week on the Big Ten Network. Let me tell you, they have nothing. Penn State's going nowhere. Iowa's going somewhere. They beat them 21-10 last year. Hawkeyes again at home will school Penn State. Washington and USC. USC's starting to score. Barkley put up 50 on Saturday. He's going to do it again against Washington and return the favor. Last year, the Huskies and Mr. Locker went and beat the Trojans at home, no less. Fair enough, in the Pacific Northwest. But they're not doing it in Southern California. Trojans, payback time. They're going to take the Huskies out in the backyard and beat them senseless. Arizona State and Oregon State is the other game I like out west. Arizona State can score. Oregon State, though, the Rogers brothers, too tough to stop. James and Jaquez, unbelievable talents. They gave Boise all they can handle. I still say Oregon State rolls over Arizona State. What a plethora of great games. Don't forget to go to ScottBeatsAman.com for all my picks in college football this week. I'm going to hit every game this week. The feds are going to come looking for me. All right, so payday from Hurley's in Times Square in the Theater District. We're at 48th Street between 8th and Broadway. This is where we hang out to watch football games, hockey games, fights, even like soccer and MMA. Do people actually watch soccer and MMA? I don't think so. Let's go through the big games this week in payday pro football. Jets and Bills. Well, I guess now that the Jets went to Miami and handled the Dolphins, and then prior to that, they handled the Patriots, and they didn't even give up a touchdown in the second half against New England. Your team is worthy of being mentioned now every week on this show because whenever they play, it becomes like a national event. Everyone's talking about them. They're on national TV. They're at the head of the talk on every show. The Jets are certainly starting to turn into a great football team.
Absolutely. Everyone was laughing at me the last 2 weeks, calling me a homer. But I was right both times. Just handled their business.
Wait a minute. Now, you're making funny faces at him while he does that?
Because he misheard. We didn't call him a homer. We were calling him a homer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we were trying. Well, go ahead.
Well, that's for another discussion.
Yeah.
But Buffalo doesn't even have the guy that started the season as their starting quarterback. They just released Trent Edwards. That's how bad they are in the first 3 games. The Jets are going to roll in this one easy.
They're going to stomp the Bills in Buffalo. Whatever happened to Chris Berman's? Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, whatever. Everybody circles the Bills. Their owner's going to kill himself. They're so bad. Honestly. I can't even believe that they hung with the Patriots and lost by 8. It was like having a knife in my back. But let's talk about the Ravens and Steelers. The Steelers are 3-0, and they did it with their 4th-string quarterback, Charlie Batch, who I think may have worked in my yard this summer. I'm not sure. I gotta check. I think that guy was on my lawn crew. But the Ravens go in there to Heinz Field. This is a game of the week in the AFC North. 2 teams that hate each other's guts, Lewis.
Well, it's always a good game.
And don't call me Lewis.
That's all right. You can call me whatever you want. It's usually a good game. The Steelers and Ravens had a little bit of controversy last year with the touchdown. Was it or was it past the goal line? I think you're going to get another game very tightly played. Not as much controversy, but it'll be a great game. I look for the Steelers to come out because they'll be the home team. But Joe Flacco's coming off an impressive weekend, and I'll tell you what, the Steelers just do it with defense every time. I think the Steelers' defense is better than the Ravens' defense, and I look for the Steelers.
And they're running the ball. I mean, Mendenhall is running the ball down teams' throats. Do you think Baltimore can go in there and beat that? It's a 1-point spread. Do you think they can do it?
You know, last week I was hating on your Steelers because they didn't have even a number 2 quarterback. But if it's not broke, don't fix it. So I think they're going to go and beat the Ravens.
I think this could be the one game, and obviously I'm a huge Steelers fan. I want the Steelers to win. I think this is the game they slip, though. I think they end up 3-1 before Roethlisberger comes back.
And you'd be very happy with that.
I'd be very happy with that. But then again, I'm stunned where they are right now. Palomalo makes all the difference in the world on that defense. Redskins, Eagles in Philadelphia. What do you have to say about this game? McNabb goes home. It's going to be violent, crazy, horrible language, drunks. But Michael Vick has looked like a rock star. And look what he did in Jacksonville. 3 touchdowns in the air, and he ran one. And the pass to Deshaun Jackson, the first touchdown of the game, that was money.
Yeah, Vic's look great, and it's really McNabb going to the younger, faster version of him because Vic's taking over that team. It was all about Cobb in the offseason, but now Vic's taking that job, and in my opinion, he's taking it for good. He looked great. He's using his feet to make room and make passes instead of just scrambling all the time. He's got that team playing awesome.
Yeah, and did you see Cobb on the sideline cheering him on? You know that actually, I know, but he's like, yeah, and the whole time he's going, I hate you guys, I hate you, you took my job.
But I think what Cobb is doing is showing that he's a team player. He's endearing himself in some way to the fans of Philly by being a good soldier and saying, hey, we're winning. It doesn't matter who's on the field, we're winning. I look for this game to be
so
dominant.
gay.
But it's the
It
truth.
was so fake,
but it's the truth.
Yeah.
What's he going to do? Stand there holding the clipboard and folding his hands like a kid throwing a
No,
tantrum?
you gotta be like my son in the soccer game when the girl gave up the goals in goal. He's like, why didn't you wear your cleats, bitch?
But I look for the Eagles to just blitz the Redskins. I thought the Redskins were going to be more impressive than what they've shown me the first 3
They
weeks
got
of the
beat by
season.
the Rams.
They're terrible.
How about the upset special of the week? The Raiders at home, Black Hole taking on Shop and the Texans after Dallas went into their building, parked their car, left with their wives and girlfriends, drove out and gave them the finger as they were leaving the stadium. They killed them. Dallas killed the Texans. Do the Texans go to Oakland and flop again?
No, I think they're going to beat the Raiders. And you know I'm the biggest Raider fan on the planet, so this is tough for me to say. But every time I get excited about how decent the Raiders are
They
playing,
get back to sucking.
they get back to sucking. So I think the Texans are just going to beat them. All right.
I have a feeling, the way the season's gone, that the Raiders can upset the Texans and catch them sleeping.
Who knows how Andre Johnson's going to be with that ankle?
He's already banged up. And I mean, once you lose one, you lose two, then everybody starts going, oh, here we go again, the 500 team. They were 500 the last 2 years.
See, and I agree with you because we've talked about it on the radio show. There's a difference in the huddle. When a guy like Jason Campbell was in the huddle.
show?
Yeah. Should I do that over?
No. Hey, so the Bears and Giants are playing on the Sunday night game at the new Meadowlands. The only reason they're having this game, or that we're even talking about it, is because I have this great shirt on. Because the Giants played like the Giants on Sunday against the Titans. It was embarrassing. I mean, you're the Giants fan. Now don't tell me that you knew, because we all knew that they were going to be a 500 at best
Right.
team. But how bad did they look?
Terrible.
And then they had the call to say that they played better than the Titans. I saw some of them after the game. We played better. We just made some big mistakes. No, you played mistake football all day and got your asses handed to you.
Yeah, they played absolutely terrible football. Anytime you have as many personal foul penalties after the play's over, Kareem McKenzie should sit for the next 2 weeks. 15-yard penalties is not good, especially
What's
when
with
your
your
team's running
boy?
from the ball.
What's with your boy Jacobs? He's now so miserable.
Oh, whatever,
And he's
I don't
picking
care.
fights with his teammates on the sideline.
Whatever. Let him pick
His
his
days are
fight.
numbered. Didn't I see that?
Good. And Eli's throwing picks with both hands now. I mean, what's this guy thinking sometimes?
In fairness to him, the left-handed pass was the first interception he threw this year that was legit. 5 of the interceptions that he has thrown have been juggled by his wide receivers,
deflected.
hit his wide receivers in the hands that deflected to a safety.
Anyway, the other one is the Monday Nighter, the Pats and Dolphins. This one's in Miami. Dolphins get all the national play too, but it's embarrassing when you lose like they did to the Jets. Now they got to take on Tom Brady, America's sweetheart, against them, and the Pats going down to Landshark in South Florida. I think that the difference in this game, to me, is that Tom Brady's better than Chad Henne. People keep trying to sell me that Chad Henne is this great future superstar. He's just like Tom Brady because he played at Michigan. Wrong. He's not Tom Brady, and he doesn't play like Tom Brady. And if he would have played like Tom Brady, maybe last week he would have won that game against the Jets.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think the Dolphins are going to be able to hang with them for a while, but in the end, the Pats just have a better quarterback, Tom Brady, and they're going to find a way to win. It won't be a blowout like most people think it will be, but they'll find a way to win.
All right, there were other good games like the Bengals and Browns, but we didn't think that they were worthy. There's just so many games that are bunk, like the Niners and Falcons. Matty Ice Ryan's not going to get worked over by the Niners. How about the Niners? They fired like their whole offensive staff after they got beat again. They're embarrassing, scoring 12 points a game. Join us every week from Hurley's for Pain Day, where we talk college and pro football games. Check out scottpieceman.com for all my picks. You know my radio show's 8 to midnight East, Monday through Friday. You know where to find that. Check out ferrallradio.com for everything concerning my show and this show. Have a great week, everybody. Enjoy the college games Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and the pro games Sunday, Sunday night, and Monday night. We'll see you next time from Hurley's in Times Square, right in the theater district, 48th Street between 8th and Broadway. For Rasan Salon, the ball carrier, Lou Pellegrino, Brian Mafiaciano, I'm Ferrall. See ya.
I need another beer.
All right.